Hello, hello everyone, and welcome. We're so happy to have you here today. I hope you're all excited to learn more about Keela. We're going to get right into it because we don't have a ton of time, but as people are starting to file in, I just want to start the session today by acknowledging that Keela's head office is located in Vancouver, which is on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, and give thanks for their generosity and hospitality on these lands and waters. My name is Meredith. I am the head of marketing here at Keela. I'm also joined by a few of my lovely colleagues today. Of course, Bryna is here, who I know you're all excited to hear from. And we also have Stephanie, who's going to be supporting in the chat, and Stefania here as well, who's going to be answering some of your questions today. If you're new to Keela, welcome. Keela is a donor management and fundraising platform that brings together all of the essential tools and features that fundraisers need to succeed. Keela is also a certified B Corp, meaning that we prioritize people over profits, and we are driven by a deep commitment to social and environmental responsibility. And on top of all of that, Keela was built by fundraisers for fundraisers. Both myself and Bryna were fundraisers before joining Keela, as were many people on the Keela team, and we understand the challenges you face on a daily basis because we have been there too. The team behind Keela has a deep-rooted understanding of the nonprofit sector, and we have channeled all of that knowledge and experience into creating a platform that caters to the unique needs of fundraisers. So I am going to pass it over to Bryna. Bryna is our VP of Growth and Marketing at Keela, and she talks to nonprofits just like you every day to understand your goals and challenges and how Keela can help you address them. So without further ado, take it away, Bryna.
Hello, thank you so much for the lovely welcome, Meredith. Thank you to my incredible co-hosts and my support team on this call. I'm so excited. And to all of you who have taken time out of your very busy day to join me and this incredible team and finding ways to learn a little bit more about Keela without the pressure of that one-on-one call. But what I really think is super important is right now on the call, we have hundreds of people who have signed up for this demonstration, which means you have colleagues across the country and North America who probably have very similar questions. And don't be afraid to ask it, because probably what you're thinking, someone is as well. So this is what I love about this group dynamic, is that I am here to bring all of you together and ask questions and talk about the challenges and the incredible opportunities that you all see as a sector. So again, my name is Bryna, and I am a fundraiser like you. 17 years working in the nonprofit sector. I know exactly what you're going through, the challenges and opportunities that you face on a day-to-day basis. But let's talk about why we're here. One, I really want to know, and again, I love interacting with people as they're on these demos, so feel free to write in the chats. Why are these giving trends showing us a decline in giving? Has anybody been following these latest giving trends? Put a hand up, say yes, say no, let me know. But basically, for those who have, one thing has become clear, and that's really the landscape is evolving. So in 2022, total giving experience declined by 3.4%. That's a lot, almost 10% if you include inflation. Why is this important? Why does this matter? Well, this matters because now it's harder to gain a new donor, and it's really important to engage with the donors that you do have within your database, people who come to you, who care about you, and who want to give more, but maybe they're not being asked. Maybe there's just a ton of opportunities. So let's dive in today about what we can do as a collective nonprofit sector, and obviously showcase a little bit of Keela to make sure that you understand what tools are at your disposal, to forge stronger connections with your valued supporters. So as you can see, hopefully everyone can see our screen. Thank you, Stefania. This is Keela, Keela.com. When you log into Keela's platform, it's super easy. You click on login, you choose your country, and you have access to our platform. Okay, is this easy? Come on, I'd love people to say yes, no, maybe so. Okay, once you're logged in, number one thing we said we wanted to talk about on this demo was how do you save time through automated and streamlined donor journeys? What does that even mean? So These automation journeys that I'm speaking about are a way to personalize messages at scale. So if you click on the left-hand side, which is your navigation, and you click on the word automation, you get into the opportunity to, as you can see here, Keela's created a bunch of workflows or journeys of what they're called. Click on one of them. We're going to really talk about major donor thank you, an opportunity to engage with your major donors again at scale. So what does this mean? What's the importance of this, right? We know that all of you and your staff time is of the utmost importance, right? Every single person on this call knows that they're doing the work of probably more than one job, and to eliminate the amount of things that you have to do. Another thing is creating all these different journeys and communications for each segment of your database and your donors. Well, on top of your balancing multiple tasks, answering calls, responding to emails, nurturing and stewarding efforts, managing communications, Keela wants to make one part of this easier, and we want to set up a workflow. So if you go into workflow, which is just that tab at the top left, thank you, Stefania, you can see if you scroll down a bunch of really fun, interesting looking rectangles. What does this mean? This means you put a little bit of effort in at the front to tailor communications with each type of donor at any given time. So what does this mean? What does this mean? What this actually means is, imagine a major donor makes a transaction to your organization. From that very moment, a series of emails, notifications, and filters are set in motion. These automated workflows allows us to engage at scale with our donors in a personalized and efficient manner. No longer do you as fundraisers need to manually pull a report every day, who is given $500 or more, write an email, send them out every time someone donates. With these automated workflows or journeys, we have the power to create a seamless journey for our donors, ensuring that no opportunity to reach out and personalize a message is missed. So by starting with a simple action, so this journey, you can see contact makes a transaction, your nonprofit can set a threshold. Let's say $500. Anybody who makes a transaction of $500 gets into a specific flow. So you wait 2 days, you have a filter. Yes, they were connected. No, they didn't make the connection, or they didn't make that transaction. You can not only have an email that goes out to these donors, but you can also have in this workflow that you're seeing a notification to your staff that your staff can send out a phone call or can pay a visit. Anything is possible with these workflows. You as an organization at the beginning will come together and figure out what is your game plan. And not only can you create a workflow for just a major donor, you can create a workflow for a volunteer when they register to volunteer. You can create a workflow for somebody who donates to a campaign. The opportunities are endless to really at scale, meaning send mass messages, but have it seem personal. It's really kind of a system that works tirelessly behind the scenes, nurturing your relationships with your donors and ensuring that no one slips through your cracks. Now, a lot of the time, fundraisers like myself get nervous that the software is going to take over our job. This is what Keela is so incredible at. It's a partner. We look at Keela, your CRM is our partner. When you partner with Keela, you get to make those phone calls. You get to steward those relationships. You get to make those connections, but you're doing it at a point where these nonprofit supporters feel that you're personalizing the messages. It's really important. Tracy, I see your question about if you were to go with our product, how do you transfer your donor base? Super easy question, and we can connect with you after to show you. But now that you understand donor behavior and preferences, we really know that it's crucial for fundraising success. Despite the decline in total giving, as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, by 3.4% in 2022, we can't overlook the fact that North Americans are still generously contributing nearly $500 billion to the nonprofit sector. So what does this mean? This really highlights the importance of fully understanding what motivates and engages our donors. We want to deepen these relationships and engage with individuals who have previously supported our causes. And it's interesting to note that individual donors account for 64% of donations in 2022, which really emphasizes the significance of comprehending their giving patterns, and which is why these automation workflows are essential. So again, I really want to emphasize that workflows can be anything from a welcome series, can be anything from a major donor request, can be anything that your nonprofit and fundraisers deem important to continuously communicate without missing any interactions. Does anybody have any questions about how automation is important for you all in the nonprofit space today, or what Keela can offer before we move on to leveraging integrations and gaining a 360-degree view of our donors? Thank you, Meredith, for answering in French. Are there any questions about integrations, or all of us absolutely love what we're seeing and are going to just at the end ask me more questions about how you can get access to this? Am I right? Okay, I'm going to move on to levering. Are there caps of email volume for automated workflows like this? I don't believe so. But again, Wesley, great question. And we can definitely follow up with you what that looks like in the Keela system. But incredible question, because you want as many workflows as possible for every different type of donor, so you never miss an interaction. Okay. Let's go back to our dashboard just so that we can start from fresh. Thanks, Leslie. So again, we're back in our dashboard. What's next? I want to talk to you all about leveraging integrations and gaining that 360-degree view of our donors. It's crucial for us as nonprofit organizations and supporting the sector to have a comprehensive understanding of preferences and behaviors to communicate effectively and build those relationships. So I'm excited to introduce to you Keela's integrations with other common nonprofit platforms. So these integrations allow us to really have a holistic view of our donors, all within one single source of truth, which is Keela's platform. So when you're in Keela, you just go to the name of your organization. Ours is the Pupper Project for today's purposes. And when you go to organizational settings, at the top, you're going to see integrations. When you click on this, you can see the vast amount of integrations that Keela partners with. And literally with a click of a button, you can connect all of these different types of integrations into Keela. These are things like MailChimp, Google Analytics, Zapier, things that allow you to still use important platforms, but have it all within Keela, your single source of truth. So now that we've touched on integrations, it's not just about the integrations themselves, it's about the potential that they unlock. Will you be integrating with Constant Contact? We will get back to you, Megan, at the end of this with Q&A. And in regards to Norma's question, how are the workflows monitored? You can have direct connections to your staff to monitor it. But again, we can go into that at the end of Q&A or after this call. In regards to interactions, I want to go to a contact profile to show you the interactions that means something when you have a contact that is using one of our integrations. So if we go to our dashboard, just again, so you see where everything is located on your left-hand side, you go to contacts. And I don't know what era everyone is from, but we're going to go and look at Hannah Montana because she's a fun contact and a contributor to the Pupper Project cause. Now, Hannah Montana, if you scroll down, has an interaction to MailChimp, which means we know a lot of the ways in which Hannah Montana is opening our emails, connecting with our emails, looking at our campaigns, donating the money, how is she donating the money? All of these things are really essential. And really it will give us a 360-degree view of Hannah's interactions. And if you scroll up, we have the potential to assign her a donor score. So this is what's really incredible about Keela. Right now, you're seeing all of these different opportunities to connect and personalize specifically with Hannah Montana. Hannah needs more love. She's only at the bottom 33% of our organization with a lifetime value of $14,000, which means she has opportunity to give more. And this is based on Keela reading her interactions, understanding her engagement, seeing how many times a year she donates, when she donates, how she donates. And there's an opportunity to have her contribute more. So meaning Keela is reading all her information and is telling us what she should do. And even telling us, if you look at the bottom, campaign recommendations, how she would likely contribute to your cause. So instead of blasting out every single message to Hannah Montana and saying, give to this, give to that, or she might have no interest in, we're going to segment her communications to the things that we know she's most likely to contribute to. How incredible is that? How do we gain more donors? Oh, Jane, that's such a great question, and we can chat about that after. But this is incredible. You are getting information about Hannah saying she is a person who is opened her emails, connected with MailChimp, has the opportunity to refer. So why don't we ask her? Has she never been asked before? How and what campaigns is she likely to donate to? When is she likely to donate? This is really, again, giving your staff the opportunity to steward this individual with the appropriate lens. And again, understanding that donor behavior and preferences are crucial due to the decline in total giving, which again, as I mentioned, fell 3.4% in 2022. Again, that's a drop of 10.5% when adjusted for inflation. But despite these economic challenges, North Americans are still giving, which means that we need to emphasize the significance of comprehending our individual giving patterns, and we need to tailor our communication strategies accordingly to ensure that we speak to all of our donors, again, with workflows and at scale, to be able to say and ask them to contribute to what means something to them, not what we want them to do, but how they should be contributing to our communications and our information. Okay. Again, I just want to be very mindful of time because I want to have some time left over to answer Jane's question, Tracy's question, and a bunch of questions that people, Amanda's question, before the end of this demo. So now that we understand workflows, now that we understand we have integrations and we have a 360-degree view and we've got incredible insights on our contacts, I want to shift our focus to an important aspect of nonprofit success. And what does that mean? That means growing your revenue and deepening your donor engagement. So if we go back to our main dashboard, I want to really just showcase where you can see the health of your nonprofit's organization. So if you go to fundraising on the left-hand side, again, the left-hand side is easy to use, user-friendly navigation. You're going to see a summary of the health of your nonprofit. Again, in the face of challenges in the decline of individual giving, it's crucial for us as nonprofits in this sector to understand the landscape and explore strategies to drive our fundraising success. How do we drive fundraising success if we don't take control of our data and drive revenue through seeing with visually appealing and easy to read analytics and reporting features? What trends and opportunities we as nonprofits and organizations should be going after? So if you look in front of you, you want to see how many new donations did you get this past year? How much net new revenue are you gaining? If you can see this donation tracker, where are you getting the most amount of donations? What time of year? What month? This is going to impact your workflows. Are you going to create workflows in June when you see the most amount of your donations taking place in November? You're going to adjust your monthly and quarterly goals to have specific opportunities based on the fundraising activity. And if you scroll down, you can see revenue goals. You can see your revenue tracker. If you keep scrolling down, you can see key performance indicators. This might be so overwhelming to people when they first look at it, but once you get into Keela and you talk to our incredible customer care team, you can understand, ooh, my email marketing open rate is quite low, 0% when the benchmark is 27%. So what do? Well, why don't you look at your workflows? Are you communicating to them in time? Are you speaking to them in the way in which they want to be spoken to? Or are you just blasting your constituents and your donors with emails about your nonprofit just because they're donors, instead of looking at their preferences to understand when and how they should be communicating with you? Now, before I stop for Q&A, I want to show you one more reporting functionality. Again, on the left-hand side, if you scroll to the third last, it's called reports. There's two reports I want to show you. Stefania has created for us 2022 donations. So again, you can create these yourselves and it will automatically populate. This is showing you, for the Pupper Project, the health of 2022 for this nonprofit. We had 148 donation transactions. We raised over $71,000. Our average fundraising donation was $482, which, by the way, is incredible. These are pieces of information that are absolutely going to help your organization report to your board, understand where you are. Is that average good compared to last year? And right below where you see this little beautiful chart, when did you get the most amount of donations? It looks like June and September and even a bit in November are very, very great opportunities for next year to communicate even more messages, because it looks like that's what resonated most with our audience. Now, if you go back to reports, I wanted to also show you another report that we created. Again, you can create as many reports as you want, but active recurring donors. This is such a great opportunity to know the health of your data as well. How many people do you have that are giving recurring donations? What's the average amount of money? What's the largest and what's the smallest? This is going to help you when you're creating messages, workflows. It's going to tell you the total number of contacts and how many are in each, which regions these individuals are from. It looks like California does the most. So you could double down on a campaign to all of your California constituents and see if they'd be interested in giving, because it looks like this message has resonated with them. Anyways, this is just a very high level overview of what we said we wanted to showcase to you in this demo about why it's really important to save time. We know that your time is very precious through automation, workflows, and journeys. How you can leverage integrations for a 360-degree view of your donors, and how do you grow revenue and deepen your donor relationships through looking at data to understand what's next. So at this time, I think we have about 7 minutes left. I would love to open the floor to Q&A, and I'm going to bring Meredith back to kind of ask some questions, and then we can get all of you some answers. And feel free to throw in questions. If we don't get them answered in the next 7 minutes, we will absolutely follow up with you, because we want to make sure that you get as much information as possible in regarding all of these topics. Thank you.
We'll also be sending out the recording as well. So if there's anything you want to revisit, you will get access to that actually later today. But we've got a few questions that have come in here. So going back to Norma's question, which came in when you were talking about workflows and automated journeys, how are they monitored?
So Stefania can jump in and let me know, but they're monitored by you, the organization. So you can, if you want to connect with Keela's customer care and premium team, you can look at what do other organizations do? How and which do they set them up? Invest in the beginning to set up as many workflows as you want, and include in every single workflow a filter and an action to connect with you at the nonprofit, so that you can check in every 3 days to see how are they being monitored? Are people resonating with these messages? Are we getting emails? In Keela, you can pull a report. How many people have donated from this campaign, this workflow, from this transaction? So it is definitely as much of a monitoring opportunity as you want it to be in your sector. Hopefully that answers that.
Great. So we got a couple questions we got a question about integrating with Constant Contact. We also got a question, which is actually very related to this, which is, does Keela have its own email blast capabilities, or do you need something like a MailChimp or a Constant Contact?
I'm going to let Stefania answer that because she's a pro at this, but of course you just need Keela.
Yeah, you just need Keela. You don't need to use another email blast system. You can do that through Keela's communications tool.
Exactly. So we don't integrate with Constant Contact, but you wouldn't actually need Constant Contact anymore if you were to come to Keela.
That's right. Cut those costs, and it's all built in within Keela.
Okay, we got a question from Jane that says, how do we gain more donors in the first place, and how could Keela be useful in helping them do that?
Oh, Jane, I would love to have a one-on-one with you and talk to you about all the various ways that you can use Keela, but there's such an opportunity to use your database and find out who is in there that hasn't given and send a specific journey and workflow to get those people interested. You could also message all of those individuals and ask why they came to your organization in the first place. You can send a message to all your volunteers who have never given a penny and communicate to them on how and why they can contribute. You can send segmented messages to your board of directors, to any stakeholder. There's so many opportunities, and I encourage you, Jane, to visit Keela.com and go to our resources section where we've got tons of blog articles and downloadable content pieces with step-by-step instructions on how to generate donors and increase revenue for your nonprofit. And that's not just for Jane, that's for everybody on this call.
Amazing. Okay, we got a question from Matt asking, do the KPIs get reflected when transferring relevant data from one database to Keela, or are the insights only for info once the transition is made?
Stefania is going to hopefully answer that question.
Yes, I'll get it. So it depends. So there's some KPIs that the data needs to live in Keela, for example, for like email marketing, open rates, etc. But for the ones that are for donor data, then you can definitely, it can reflect your imported data, your historical data that you bring into the system.
Amazing. Okay, we got a question, and I think we answered it in the chat, but I want to highlight it too, because I think this is a huge kind of important part of Keela. But Brianne asked if we have a series of videos or training classes that can teach, and what kind of support is available for people looking to move to Keela.
So I'm just gonna really be super proud and impressed with Keela's customer success and care team. We have a 98% satisfaction rating, and that's an average over the last 3 years. Our team, some of them are fundraisers themselves, but we care about you. As Meredith mentioned at the beginning of the call, we are a B Corp, and we are invested in you and ensuring you succeed. Every single thing that you saw on Keela's demo today, there are short videos, long videos, opportunity to call a care team member, to book a video recorded call with somebody, to attend webinars and sessions. We want to ensure that you are successful. You cannot join Keela and not be successful, because we are proud when you succeed. And in order for you to succeed, we make that part of our mission and our everyday today. That's part of our working life. So we got you covered.
Okay, awesome. We have one more question from Anna asking about the cost. How much does Keela cost?
So we will follow up with you and Anna, but you can go to our pricing page right now on Keela.com and check out the pricing based on what it means to you. It's really important that Keela is transparent and that we are giving you a price that grows with your organization. We know sometimes CRMs can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars when you won't be using half of the tools and functions and features. So check out our pricing page, but we will definitely connect with you after this, because we want to make sure that you have Keela and it's working right for you, because we want you to see the return on investment. So I'm excited to chat with you later.
Awesome. And then we actually just got another one in from Brianne kind of in the last minute there, but would you help us transfer our data, or do we do this on our own?
We will help you every step of the way. There are so many opportunities to engage with Keela in whichever way that you want, which is why pricing is super transparent. If you need us, we are here to help you. If you've got IT and individuals within your organization that can do it without us, that is your call, but we are absolutely available and want to ensure, again, your success when onboarding and transferring all of your information to Keela. We want all of you to be part of our family. We treat our customers like family, and it's really important that you all feel support from the moment that you connect with us, that you attend these demos, that you talk with any other members of this organization. And once you're a customer, that doesn't change.
Awesome. Okay, questions are still coming in. So I know we're at time, but I think we're okay to stay. I know we're all okay to stay a little bit over. Anybody who's on the call is more than welcome to stay. And if you have questions, keep them coming. So we have a question from Tani or Tani. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but they're asking, would this be beneficial for a small organization?
Absolutely. Keela supports small, medium, and large size organizations. It really depends on the features and functions that you want to use within Keela. So again, visit Keela pricing or connect with us after this call. We'll be sure to reach out and we can discuss how and what makes the most sense for your nonprofit. But absolutely, there's no exclusions.
Okay, and then we got a question from Nathaniel asking, most of our potential donors stop when they have to enter contact info into a form. Is there a way around this with Keela?
Most of our potential donors stop when they have to enter contact information to a form. So I think that's a really interesting question. So Keela's forms are really interesting. You have a variety of different ways that you can create your forms. You can have a form where somebody goes to your website, clicks donate, and then it goes to a new page. You can have a pop-up, or you can have something that's actually what we say embedded. The way in which that you create your donation forms, which you can create as many as you like on the Keela platform, if you actually do it embedded, individuals don't drop off because they think it's part of the process. In order for somebody to donate in Canadian and in the US, you do need some certain pieces of information in order to provide tax receipts, which is the number one reason why those questions are asked. So again, you have an opportunity when creating your donation forms to convey that information that you need this in order to provide them with the tax receipting issues. But again, Nathaniel, we can absolutely talk to you about best practices for creating donation forms and how we've actually seen donors not drop off using our donation forms. And I just want to also mention our director of sales said the cost of Keela is much less than the future loss of donations that we're seeing across the board, unfortunately, with this Giving Trends report. So we know that we've got tried and true practices that not only our current customers are using, but what we've seen in the industry and what we've also seen across the space being active in this space. We've got so many tried and true practices that we would love to share with you. So we're really, really looking forward to connecting with all of you after this.
We're also going to be, if any of you have been reading that Giving USA report or looking at the stats, we're going to be releasing a blog probably either tomorrow or Monday that actually looks at some of the stats from it, what nonprofits can do to kind of alleviate some of that decline that we're seeing, and actually how within Keela it can support that work so that hopefully your organization maybe doesn't see as much decline as we're seeing across the sector. No, I think that's all of the questions today. So we're going to wrap the demo. Thank you all so much for attending. If you're interested in learning more, we would absolutely love to chat with you and better understand the goals and challenges of your organization and how Keela can help you. In the chat, Stephanie just put a link to book a very brief one-to-one call with a member of our team, and we really hope to hear from you. So thank you again, everybody, for attending today, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you all so much.